I know that it's a tough one to sort of, I think, be in the middle of drinks going to be served a little later. I think a lot of chatter outside as well. I only sort of do come here from other countries, other markets. I take care of APAC as a market as well. I'm going to use, I think, what happened last week, and it still continues to happen, which is, I think, a lot of people across the delivery guys of Blinkit being on a massive reason to stop deliveries. And I think that's the prelude or starting point of my thought process, that I think in a world of today where retailers are talking about profitability, growth, getting faster returns, what is the best way, or what is really the big thing with retail media? I don't know whether you guys, any of you guys in the audience have been following this trend, but happy to sort of, I think, deep dive that in a couple of slides from now. So just some trends for you guys. Just in 2021, this industry is about a $30 million industry and walloping massive growth. It's meant to be the single most biggest growing digital advertising space in the world. What we're seeing is these numbers are not just a trend only in the US. We've been working in markets across the world now, and we work with a plethora of companies, right from closer home to groups like Reliance, Tata, brands like PharmEasy and a couple of others, to perhaps the largest giants like Target, Tesco, Macy's, and what have you as well. So to cut a long story short, what is this entire thing we're trying to sort of create for? And I think we saw in some presentations before about POS and many other things. We look at different touch points. We look at understanding data from what we call as retailer data sitting at the heart of the retailer itself. And in this entire world of the cookie getting deprecated as well, what is the world going to look like, right? Because I think everyone says data is the new oil, but more often than not, I think the whole largest problem in a retailer's organization is who sits with the data. The CDO, the CIO, the CMO, what have you as well. But we work closely with all those teams to make sure that using that data, we're able to create an opportunity which is seamless, easy, works well for the customer, the retailer, and the advertiser as well. You want to just shift the slide? So think about it. You've got like a company like Amazon, which came out of nowhere about 25 years back, just selling books. And today is not just selling books, but is in every space of retail. The largest business that they're actually creating in the world is not really about selling products and services to us, but it's about the data they sit with. And based on that information, they're sort of giving us real-time communication for us to buy. How many of us have perhaps bought maybe a razor, and then suddenly in an emailer, we get a communication saying, time to buy a shaving cream, 40% off. It's coming out of, obviously, the data which Amazon's got, and real time that's coming back to us as well. So what we're trying to sort of really fall is, there is a whole segment of a whole bunch of retailers which also have a fair amount of this data as well. And perhaps what we can solve for is exactly what Amazon has been doing, trying to create the same ecosystem for all sorts of retailers across the world. So yes, retailers of all sizes, specialities, and it's not just the likes of a Flipkart I'm talking about. It could be as small as someone selling herbal products. It could be as someone selling pharmacy. We sort of saw Apollo as well, right? So any retailer which is now omnichannel, which is across e-commerce, we use those data points to try and create great opportunities to make sure that they are, putting out that data for the customer, making sure the customer gets opportunities to get discounts, opportunities for advertising, and what have you as well. So this is really how it kind of fits in. Yeah, we've all bought things on app, on web, on mobile, on desktop. Yeah, so think about it in terms of, I think, where it all funnels down is any opportunity which is got perhaps a space which is a digital screen, and the fact of, I think, real time it getting monetized back is the space that Citrus is providing in the world. So think about it, that how many times have any of you guys in the audience been to a physical store, right? you've been to Reliance Fresh, you've been to Chroma, and you see a lot of digital screens. You're on the app, you see that as well. So we're sort of filling that entire space, across that entire value chain by making sure that we funnel that and try to create a better ecosystem. So what's really in there is you've got customers like all of us, because all of us buy as well. You've got retailers like yourselves who've got various different ways of selling products and services. And then there's a whole bunch of brands who are any which ways partners to retailers selling the products as well. What we're doing is just enabling that process between their entire mix, and there is a healthy balance that you're not seeing too many ads. You're making sure that there is reason to believe for the consumer, there is a reason for his data being sort of given, and he's getting the ads as well. What we do believe, what is going to be the vision of the future? How many of us know that how many messages we get? Anyone's calculated how many notifications we get in a day? In the audience? Notifications we get in a day? Emails we get in a day? Alerts? But understand that in a world going ahead, which is going to be a cookieless world, you're going to be perhaps someone. What's your name, sir?
Dr. Ankit.
Dr. Ankit. Dr. Ankit, in the digital world, you're going to be known as CR2Z234 or what have you as well. And that will be basis the data points you leave across social media, e-commerce channels, multiple different places as well. So that's Dr. Ankit in the digital world. In the cookieless world, we want to make sure that we have his demographics, psychographics, user behavior, and what have you as well. And basis that AI intelligence, real time, we're trying to solve for making sure that brands can leverage that well. Now imagine Ankit and that same customer. So for example, if Unilever wants to target the same person across Facebook, across OTT, across digital retail, it becomes easy, seamless, and we stitch that entire thing in real time. So what we do is we create that real-time intelligence of someone like him while in this process. But the fact is, a lot of us think that advertising is a waste, right? It's something which is intrusive. It's something which you're not paying for. How many of us still read newspapers? Be honest. Physical newspapers. Yeah? Do we want the ads in those newspapers? But we've been getting it for years, right? So when you, sorry?
You need the ads.
You need the ads. Fantastic, sir. Great. So that's the reason why a newspaper costs you 5 rupees and not 45. Because it supplements that entire cost of production of the paper. So what's really happening in a world of digital going forward is we will have advertising which is more relevant. It's not going to be in your face that you sort of feel that you shouldn't have seen it, right? So it will know Ankit, it will know people basis, their needs, their people, and what have you in terms of preferences. And retailers are going to be part of this entire journey. And that's the entire new evolution or growth of, I think, what we call retail media. So it's in various touch points, right? So think of retail in terms of, I think, what you can do across web, whether it's display, mobile, email, social. You've got all the possible sort of channels. Then, of course, you've got in-store. So almost any possible opportunity of phygital, which means a digital screen within actual retail, all of it, again, unified by that data point, which is what I just said, Ankit, right? So that person, if he's traveling to a store, if he's traveling to Facebook, or if he's traveling to any other space, can be targeted in real time. You might ask, are we the only guys doing this in the world? No, we're not. There are companies like us who have been doing this as well. We work with a couple of these, the logos down, pretty much the largest companies across the world, which is Walgreens, Target, Macy's, Tesco, and what have you as well. We've been in APAC now for a year and a half or 2 years now as well. And what we've been doing in this journey is even the smallest retailer who typically has large issues, and I'm bringing this conversation back to what I began with, right? So think about the fact that today, a company like Blinkit graphers earlier says they will not be able to pay 10 rupees per delivery more. I'm able to tell them, forget 10 rupees. I'm able to give you at least 10 crores a year. Is it worth batting an eyelid? Maybe they should blink it. That's really all about us. Happy to have any questions for us, but this is really, I think, the opportunity. Thank you so much, RAI, for the opportunity for having me here as well. And feel free to sort of reach out for any questions. Thank you so much.
Yes, Dr. Kushal there, request you to remain on stage so that we can present a memento to you. I request Dr. Hitesh Bhatta from RAI to please step forward to do the honors in handing over a memento and a small token of appreciation.
Thank you. Finally get a chance to meet this. Good.
Thank you so much, Dr.
For a year and a half or 2 years now as well. And what we've been doing in this journey is even the smallest retailer who typically has large issues, and I'm bringing this conversation back to what I began with, right? So think about the fact that today a company like Blinkit graphers earlier says they will not be able to pay 10 rupees per delivery more. I'm able to tell them, forget 10 rupees. I'm able to give you at least 10 crores a year. Is it worth batting an eyelid? Maybe they should blink it. That's really all about us. Happy to have any questions for us, but this is really, I think, the opportunity. Thank you so much, RAI, for the opportunity for having me here as well. And feel free to sort of reach out for any questions. Thank you so much.